you asked me about somebody at the treatment plant.
Did I do it this time?
I've told you, not tonight, but I've told you those records were up to date. We don't have them like we want them now, but those guys are in alligators up to their tails down there. And you always ask me, when are they going to do this and when are they going to do that? We're building a plant. So you can laugh if you want to.
Oh yeah, Marvel, I didn't ask it, did I?
Back on track.
Hey, motivational attitudes accomplish nothing.
Yeah,
Let's
we
all
need
take
to-
a deep breath and move
That's
on.
enough said. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'd like to applaud you for seeing this financial bubble that's ready to burst
Yes.
in the future. And I think what I'm hearing everyone saying is that they're requesting a public hearing before their fees are raised, and I think that's all anyone's asking.
Nobody's going to raise any fees that are not. See, we have to go through USDA.
Yeah.
USDA has to be involved in any
Just
decision
understanding
we
the
make.
process.
The attorney's got to be involved in any decision we make. And if we get DEQ into it, they're going to mandate what you have to do to these systems, just like they did in Lincoln City, or not Lincoln City, Dune City.
The
And then
city
it'll
will
be appropriate to have a public hearing and let people know what's going to happen.
The city will still feel better about whatever decision is made and whatever negotiations are done if it's done in a public forum.
It is.
That's
That's all we need.
That's good, that's right there.
That's fine.
Okay.
We're not
But,
criticizing you, just
yeah.
let us know what you want to do.
There's one thing I want you to know about these step systems is all of them are not ran with pumps. Some of them are gravity flow.
Mhm.
So you can't one regulation on all of them.
Absolutely.
Like mine, for example, I don't use any electricity. Gravity flows up. I have absolutely no idea why it isn't a regular sewer system. I have no idea why there's a tank there. It should flow right into the pipe without any problem at all if that pipe was properly vented. That's the problem.
There you go.
No, I have a gravity fed system, and the
And
reason I do is because the sewer treatment plant couldn't handle the load of the permits that the city gave away to build.
Yeah, but mine was installed when there was plenty of capacity at the sewer.
But they still
Well,
require.
we will address it.
But Jim,
Jim?
They're all going to be different, all 80.
I've been on the council, I was on with Terry and most of that.
I guess you're one sitting on your butt doing it.
And quite frankly, I gave up trying to track the sewer ordinances some years ago because it got hopelessly confused. Now, Terry, at the time you signed
I
this,
understand you.
did they reimburse some of the money back to you?
$700.
$700. Now, do we still do that?
No.
So,
It was because the intent was to get everybody online.
Yeah, I know what
because the
intent
sewer
was.
plant was not operating to its full capacity, therefore it didn't operate as well.
yeah, but someone should go through each council meeting, and I'm not going to volunteer, and look in the records for each council meeting to find out what was done under the different sewer plant superintendents. Dick Miller did a pretty good job, and then Norm did a fair job, and we got Stan Sharp, and things got a little vague.
Well, I don't think that we need to go back and waste man hours as non-value
No.
added. We just need to identify and then move forward.
But, so I'm not sure, from time to time, there's been discussions about what's going on, and this is the first I've heard of DEQ getting involved.
No, I just said DEQ's involved with the one at Dune City.
City.
And that's all. If DEQ does, if DEQ mandates that you've got to check these and have a maintenance man on that, then we're going to have to hire a man to do the
But,
checks.
Well,
I
think that's
think this whole area really needs to be reviewed, and the people that certainly, people with step systems should be notified and asked to set in and contribute.
well, and nothing is preventing you from the new people coming on to the system. You put some sort of a fee on them to pay for their maintenance and stuff, but to go back on the people that knew what their agreement was and agreed to that and have in good faith taken care of the, the location and all those kind of things, I don't believe that they should be punished
I
to
don't
try to
either,
make up
Terry.
the difference.
And
We
I
helped
think
get
that's
it
what-
going to
that's-
start with.
That's what we're gonna negotiate on, that's what we're gonna go, and that's what we're trying to get. I told, we're not gonna try to pass this ordinance tonight. I had no intention of trying to pass it, whatever
Well, I'm glad
anybody
to
may,
hear that, Orville.
what
Yeah.
everybody may think. But, and we were trying to get information on it. I tried to make calls today, and I couldn't get anybody that could give me any information on it. All I know is that we're gonna have, we got a guy that wants to get on the step system tonight. And the DEQ, that's, and we've got a letter in our package here from him, but we're not gonna take over those step systems. Phil has already told him, if you get on this step system, then you're going to be responsible from our line to your house. You're gonna maintain your system, and I'm gonna talk to the attorney, we're gonna write up a letter to anybody that wants on these, that DEQ recommends gets on them, and then they're gonna be responsible for that. We can't keep taking
Well,
these
that makes
systems off.
perfect sense.
That makes a lot of
But this
sense.
is the new ones, not the old ones.
Pardon?
That's right.
This
That's
is
the new
for
ones.
any new ones, right?
Another thing too.
That's
is
for any new ones, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
that's
This-
all I'm asking.
The cities, basically, we don't want the step systems anymore.
Well, it makes
Maybe just throw a suggestion out there, you know, maybe at the meeting, when you sell your property, you're grandfathered in until you sell your property. Once your property owner changes, then that person is responsible for it.
That's
I
You
don't
know,
have any
the people
problem
that
with
have
you
paid,
writing new
then have done their service, or
Yeah, new stuff, have at it.
new stuff.
We realize that
Leave us alone.
We gotta be positive.
we realize that this thing is, that the city may have an obligation to the people we got, but we're gonna have to do something, there's gonna have to be some maintenance on it, because you cannot believe some of the systems, these guys get called out, okay, it says abuse and stuff here. I don't think that we ought to pay, and man hours, I don't think we ought to pay for our men to go up to a step system like they did 2 weeks ago and spend 2 hours on stacking lumber.
No,
I think if they go up
absolutely
there
not.
and that system like
contract
that,
says
I
they have
think they
to
should have
maintain
come
it.
back and say, call me when your lumber's on.
Well, they should.
And this is the kind of
Well,
stuff.
and then if their
Until
lumber
tonight.
having been stacked on there caused the problem, then they have to pay for
They
that
should.
too. That's reasonable.
They should not be
And
paying.
another thing,
Make
we heard the other day, was
That's
there
what
was like
it says.
3 5-gallon buckets of grease taken out of one, and once it was, the system worked fine. You know, this is kind of things that.
Well, I
They're
guess
all
what,
Those are the ones that are
I don't want to spend all
responsibility
night
of the
on this thing, I just wanted you to bring it out, and you guys know this, know what we're doing.
I'd like to make a suggestion on the publication of your agenda in the future.
Mhm.
When you have bullets that you know are going to just be preliminary dialogues, that you actually state that. Because those of us who got a copy of your agenda for tonight saw that bullet as something to be put on the table and voted on today. So just to alleviate any confusion between council and city
Well, I'm
residents,
not gonna point a finger, but
Just-
that wasn't an issue that shouldn't have been put the way it
Well,
was.
it-
I'm
it
not gonna
just
count
says
anybody for it, it was a
open
mistake.
dialogue, and we would have all felt
And
considerably
that's
better
the way,
tonight.
that's the way it is. But all I'm saying is this, and we're gonna look into it, but we're gonna have to do some things different than what we're doing.
Fine, or were you not listening to me though? In the future, when you publish the agenda, when you put these bullets on, if you are not actively going to put this up for a vote,
I heard you.
you
I
need
heard
to
you. I know
say
what you're saying.
pending discussion.
I heard you. Okay, the next item of business